Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joseph Lombard, a.k.a. Interesting 4R, and I'm with Zachary Lombard, a.k.a. Magnum 05.
Hello.
And welcome to another Lombard Bros talk show. This is the 109th talk show that we are doing. I remind you guys, later on this talk show, we are going to have two guests on today. Elijah Burke, he's a businessman for Chip Ganassi Racing. Elijah Burke is known as that viral NASCAR interview video that when he graduated at high school last year, he made this like NASCAR, NASCAR drives in victory lane after they win the race. They do their victory lane interview. He did something like that. He has the Coke in his hand. He has the towel here. He has the hat sponsor and stuff. And he's pretending like, graduating high school and pretending it's like a NASCAR interview. Yeah. Like, I got to think all these people, he was just making it look like that. So that's what he's known for. And now he works for Chip Ganassi Racing. Wow. Which is pretty cool. And Aaron Fischer is also going to be joining. Aaron Fischer is a great friend of Elijah Burke. As a matter of fact, Elijah Burke and Aaron Fischer does these NASCAR Heat 3 live streams every Sunday night, and they bring on special guests. I was actually on one of their guests. What was it? A month or two ago. They invited me to be their main guest, and I happened to be racing with them for a couple hours. So that was a good time. But they do those on Sunday nights, so it's pretty cool. So they will be joining us on the talk show in just around half an hour into the talk show. What's going on, Elijah? How are you?
Good. How are you, Joseph?
Doing good. So how you been? Looks like you're at the shop right now.
Yeah, just playing a little NASCAR Heat 3, trying to brush up on my skills for our next stream. Obviously, I can't beat you, so I got to try to beat someone else out here. So it's getting a couple extra hours trying to get some laps in.
Just practicing just in case whenever I come back on, you'll be prepared, huh?
Yeah, well, we got to have you back on because we got our butts whooped so bad. It's worth at least trying again or being humiliated again. Either one.
Yeah, so I was part of their Heat 3 live stream just about a couple months ago, and I pretty much dominated for the most part. But but it's always fun. Of course, it's fun to for you guys. It's pretty cool on what you and Aaron does with the NASCAR Heat 3 streams each week. Just bring on one guest and just do giveaways. I think that's a neat idea. Aaron is here. Aaron, can you hear me?
Hello, what's up?
There he is.
Yeah, there we go. These two guys.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah, it's working, man.
Okay.
See your giant wall of diecast you order.
Exactly.
Look at that. Oh, my God. Wow. How many diecasts are on there?
Too many.
Okay, the good answer, yeah. I'll take that answer.
That's one wall of like 7 in that basement that have just plastered wallpaper worth of diecast on them.
You guys still hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put headphones in. Hopefully it'll be a little better.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, we can definitely hear you for sure. So, guys, first off, thank you for joining us on the podcast here. First off, Elijah, I wanted to ask you this first question because I mean, I guarantee you've been asked this before, but no one really knew you until you graduated high school and you made that NASCAR parody NASCAR Victory Lane interview, and that went viral. Can you tell us what was the idea behind, like, what made you come up with that idea? Because I'm interested in knowing.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for having me on. So it's funny because it was actually my college graduation. So I had the high school cap and gown on because it was the same exact color as my college school colors. So I'm thinking to myself a couple weeks before graduation, I'm like, you can really apply the NASCAR interview to anything whatsoever. I mean, as long as you say you have, you had a good car out there, or you think the guys back at the shop, you think your sponsors, you can integrate sponsors with anything. And I'm like, well, college sponsors are easy, Netflix, Rate My Professor, Chegg, Quizlet, all the stuff like that you used to get to those dreaded college classes. So the funny thing is also I wasn't going to do it. I'm like, it's after the commencement ceremony and there's so many people out here and they're gonna be like, what is this kid doing with a hat swap and a Coca-Cola bottle and someone filming him? I'm like, you know what? I spent 4 years of my life wasting $20,000. I am going to do something that, I want to do. Not even trying to make a splash in the NASCAR world on the career side of it. But it worked out. I mean, I got picked up by the marketing director here, former marketing director, slid my DMs, and he was like, hey, want to do an Instagram takeover? And then eventually it turned into a job here. So the whole idea was kind of just like, I think I saw Elliot Johnson of the Braves do an interview a couple years ago. They asked him like how the game was, and he just went full NASCAR, just sponsors and everything. I'm like, that'd be cool if you took like NASCAR into an environment where you don't expect it, like college. So that was the idea.
That was an awesome. The first time I watched that, I thought that was one of the most hilarious things. I'm like, and then also I'm like, man, how come I didn't think about doing that? Like that was so cool, just such a neat idea. So that got me cracking. I know that went viral for sure, and got to where you're at right now, man. That's pretty incredible. So another question I do want to ask you. How did you get involved in Chip Ganassi, man? I mean, what was that like for you that you're working for one of the top race teams, basically?
Yeah, it was a crazy journey because I started out when I started following the team. I was a Kyle Larson fan back 2014, and I was chasing Kyle Larson around the garage. The selfies, the autographs. I was that stupid kid just walking around doing that stuff. At least I felt that way personally because I'm like, I don't want to do it. I know people do, and I respect that, but I never want to be that guy. I'm like, Kyle Larson's my hero, And then I got this job, and through their marketing director sliding in the DMs, and he's like, hey, Instagram takeover. And then a couple weeks later, he's like, well, hold up. We might have something different for you. So they interviewed me over the phone, bunch of hypothetical questions about my work ethic. And then I met with the VP of business development at the time, and then Doug Dukert, which is the CEO, and then Mark Dooley, who was the former another business development guy. But I met with all of them in one of those big fancy motorhomes that Chip owned over in Michigan, and I was like, this is it. Like if I do good, like I'm pretty sure I have the job. And it was an hour-long conversation of all positive things. So they offered me the job, and I took a day to think it over just because I felt like that was the right thing to do. But there was no way I was going to say no. But for anyone out there who really just, is a fan, they want to work in the sport. I mean, you can still start out as a fan and, you chase your drivers around and watch and go to races and hang out. I think that's important to understand how the fan side works. But now being on the marketing and sales side, I can kind of come back to the team with that fan perspective because there really isn't anyone else here who has spent the time as a fan the last 5 or 10 years on our floor. So that perspective of, the younger age and, the different perspective of, oh, he went to the track and he was looking for free stuff instead of going to the track and working all the time. So that whole different perspective of how we can engage with our audience and our partners and help the fans, I try to bring that kind of perspective in. But it's all good. I'm glad to be here. I love it. It's a true blessing. Thank you, Jesus. It was awesome to be here.
Absolutely. So, Aaron, I want to talk to you now. So I met you for the first time when Elijah invited me to one of the NASCAR Heat 3 streams and stuff. But can you give us an idea of what you do? And yeah.
Okay. So pretty much, I guess my deal is that I've known Elijah since, 2010?
Mm-hmm.
Am I a little too low?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, since 2010, I don't know if you guys ever heard of a forum called Diecast Crazy.
Yes, I heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, so we got kind of together through that, and over the years talking back and forth on that, and it's actually pretty amazing that in some ways there's good and bad things about the internet, in my opinion. But I think one of the great things that it does is bring people like me and Elijah together to become really good friends, lifelong friends. And, we started going to races together. Like that picture that you guys pulled out from New Hampshire 2014 was our first race trip together. And ever since then, it's been great. But so pretty much, this back here, and I have a lot more in here, but I'm not going to move my laptop around, but I have probably, I don't know, close to 1,700 or 1,800 diecast in here, in my man cave. So it's pretty much been my life. You know, Elijah can probably tell you 15 minutes long of some stuff about how dedicated I am to this stuff. But like, I just, you know, I was born, with a single mom and as a single sibling. I don't have any brothers or sisters, whatever. I kind of just rolled in my own lane. Ever since I've been young, I've been into the racing stuff, and so yeah, I just been into cars and racing and stuff. And I just I'm in my last semester of bachelor's degree in automotive. Currently working for a company called NYCM Insurance. Basically, I'm a auto damage appraiser. So basically, if you get into a car accident or hit a deer or something like that, basically I'm the person that comes out and looks at the car and assesses the damages and stuff like that. Deals with the body shops and
Total loss.
like that. And total losses is my favorite. My favorite activity is total losses. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I do. But the racing thing has really been my whole life, and I think one of the best things, especially that connected me and Elijah, is the diecast stuff. And that's pretty much, to be completely honest, that's all we talk about. So it's just really, I really recently have gotten into fixing cars, kind of on the side. A lot of the other appraisers that I work with, they do their job, and then they have side jobs and things that they like to do. And I like to do the diecast thing. I don't really resell them, but I probably could. But right now, I just really buy them and collect them for myself and all that. Most of my family uses it as a investment, as an excuse for me to have it all sitting down here. But I've kind of run out of room, so I got like stacks of storage totes and over here, just trying to find more and more room. It's amazing how creative you can get trying to store diecast when you just start running out of room. But I can send you guys some pictures afterwards if you want to see the rest of the stuff, because I have 2 rooms worth of stuff sitting down here. So
I know a friend of mine that just started try to make a second room for his NASCAR stuff, because he's got a ton of diecast. So I have known people that has walls and just displays of NASCAR stuff, and it looks like you're reaching there, man. So I want to ask you both. So you both at least once a week do these NASCAR Heat 3 live stream stuff, and you bring in a guest each week, and it's you two mainly hosting it, but you do bring a guest each week, and you actually do giveaways like CGR giveaways. Can you both can answer this too, but can you both tell us the reason for the idea?
Yeah, so the same guy who hired me, Brad Zimmerman, God bless his soul for everything he's come up with. He said one day, he's like, he's like, you and Aaron should just get an Xbox and like a webcam and just start streaming. And I told him, I'm like, dude, if you give me a budget, like I'll do it. So he gave me a budget and paid for it.
Around the time that they had the esports announcement stuff going on?
It was, so esports was rumored it was going to come up, this NASCAR Heat Pro League, and he's like, jump on it and start streaming on Twitch. So we did. We gave away some stuff. I thought Aaron he's obviously a great racer on the game. He's I'd say he's in the top 200 for the small amount of time he plays. But the comedic relief that Aaron provides, Brad was like, we need more of this. So we did that. We just started doing that more and more every week. And eventually, we decided to have on like guests. We've had Jeff Fabiano. We've had you. We've had Ryan Vargas. We've had Ryan Briganti, who's our car chief on the one car. We're working on some more at the moment, and then also having some people back in. Even Skirt Bush, the guy over from LA, one of our favorite personalities in the NASCAR world now. But it's just all come together through one idea from one person just wanting us to stream like a side thing. And, now it's a weekly thing. We've averaged a gain of 15 followers a week, which is good, or a stream, which is really good for us. But we just tried to build it before they had the esports thing out, right? No other team was really doing anything on NASCAR Heat 3. I think Austin Dillon dipped his toes in, and RCR had him do a little stream, which really wasn't anything good, in my opinion. So we're just trying to do something, to get our name out there in the esports world that we're actually trying at CGR. Get our arms around this. So, and Aaron ends up beating me every time we go head to head. So I guess you could either say he's the better one or it's the Rammer's fault.
Half the time it's the Rammer's fault. Half the time I just block the crap out of
The track is blocked. Yes.
Well, I think the main goal with Chip Ganassi, and Elijah already pretty much has answered this, but like the main goal with this is that a lot of the other teams, they have to be involved in this. They aren't really doing anything. And like if this is going to be a mandatory thing from all these teams, that Elijah and everybody at Chip Ganassi is trying to make something out of this. If they're gonna make it a mandatory league, whatever we got to do, esports thing. We're trying to make an impact on the NASCAR fan base that Chip Ganassi is dedicated to this and they're gonna make it worth their time, so they're taking it seriously. I feel like a lot of the other teams probably really aren't, and I think it's something that they should engage in.
And we got a whole basement full of just stuff to give away too. I mean, Lionel sends in samples here that no one ever touches, and there's t-shirt prototypes and all this stuff, and it's like what are we going to do with it? Like, let it pile up like it's the third episode of Hoarders, or are we going to just make sure that the fans can get some of this stuff? So you never know what you may win, which is why I encourage people to tune in, because I mean, you got die-cast samples in there, you got prototype t-shirts, like stuff that you really can't get anywhere else, but we're giving them away because what are we going to do with them? And you, the fan, is going to enjoy them much more than the people here, or the storage basement here, should I say. And
like I said, this is just what you guys are doing with this. I mean, it was an honor to be part of one of the streams too. But it's just cool that it just brings fans together. Like, try to bring more fan interaction. Just have them be part of something. And I know it can provide some fools out there on the racetrack. It's still a cool thing for people to participate, whether they race or they just tune into the stream. Just make sure you retweet the post and watch the stream. Let it be known that you're watching the stream, or even if you want to be part of it too. I think it's a really cool, neat idea what you guys are doing, and I think it's definitely going to help bring exposure to that. And the fact that it seems like that's growing little by little each stream is pretty cool. And I wouldn't mind to be part of it again. If you guys have me on the guest again, I can whip you guys again like I did last time. Because I cannot. I mean, we did a bunch of races, and I cannot. I mean, maybe there was one or two in there that I finished behind you guys, but the others, it was like I didn't mean to embarrass you guys a lot. You know what I mean? Just
really bad.
You can't blame yourself for doing as good as you did, because that was pure talent. And me and Aaron have gotten a little bit better.
I don't even know how you miss all the wrecks. Like I could like try to ride the catch fence, Lightning McQueen style, and I'm out here still getting wrecked on the back stretch, and I'm not supposed to be on the front stretch. And then you're just cruising right through like Jackson Storm. So I really just don't know how that works, but I guess that's something I have to figure out.
I guess, see, the thing with me is when I play, I try to bring more awareness to me instead of like what's ahead of me. And then I mainly try to guess myself, like, okay, which way are the cars going? And, I guess sometimes you get lucky with them. I guess I was pretty lucky that night, but there's been times where I'm like, I don't get through these strikes and I've got my butt destroyed and stuff. But no, but like I said, it's such a cool thing for you guys to put together, and it'll be such an honor if I can be part of it again soon. And anytime too, I would love to be back on it and just have a good time. I mean, it was a good time when I was on it, and could be a good time again. Hopefully, maybe you guys can show me what's up next time I'm on there too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, we'd love to have you on again. We're sorting out a lot of plans for the upcoming NASCAR season once NASCAR starts their Cup Series and real physical on-track activity instead of the virtual world. That'll be cool. But yeah, I think it's all about getting things, in front of the eyes of fans, right? And it's important for us at CGR to bring value to our partners, talk business and make sure we're doing things good for them and keep them on our minds, because they pay the bills at the end of the day. But I also think it's cool to dabble in things that, maybe partners aren't spending money on right now, but it's as a fan, I understand that when I was at home watching, I did not give a crap about what sponsor was paying what or doing what. And yes, that's important to us as a team. I'm not discrediting that at all. But the fans at home are like, I just want to see something entertaining, right? That's what keeps eyes on the track. As Big Bill France would always say, as long as I keep the drivers side by side, everything else takes care of itself. So it's all about entertainment. That's what we want to do, is make sure people at home have something to watch or something to look forward to. And whether it's good or not, you want to tune in or you don't want to, we're just here trying to provide another outlet for that.
Sounds good. Well, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think one of the important things right now is just like the cars on track, with how technology has moved and the way society has moved and culture. Like with the cars right now, they're the specifications are so tight, and there's not a lot of room for creativity. Like, it takes so much work now to have creativity. Well, I think, in my opinion, that it's just the same way in the marketing sense. So like Elijah, it's harder and harder to find sponsors that are attracted to NASCAR, and it's his job to find new ways to attract sponsors, and it's harder and harder every year. And I think that a lot of what Elijah brings to the table and why CGR is interested in him is because he's very creative, and it's gonna take a creative set of people in the future, very, very creative set of people to attract sponsors and bring money to the race team so they can continue racing.
Sounds good. No, very good there. Very interesting to hear about that. All right, so we're gonna have you guys for at least on for the next few minutes, but we do got some questions from the fans. I wanted to ask you some questions. So let me. First question is, what is the craziest road trip you guys have been on?
Oh gosh, great question.
The actual best one was probably one we can't even talk about. So we'll have to pick
Those are always the best ones.
Oh, you want to talk about well, Martinsville wasn't the craziest one. That was the most disappointing.
That was the worst one.
Oh gosh. Michigan. Time you almost killed us in Charlotte.
Yes, the sand barriers. That was Sam Horner stuff.
Oh, well, how about this? How about we did the Will Rogers road trip experience for New Jersey? We woke up. I went to Aaron's College in Morrisville, slept on the floor while everyone bumped a little yakety until 4 a.m. And then I got a good 13 seconds of sleep.
Yes.
Woke up. We drove to New Jersey, 5.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And we watched Will race for the entire day. Will won, thank God. The motivation to drive back home. We drove back home. We were up from let's say 4:30
like 2 a.m.
till 2 a.m. And Aaron did all of the driving. This man, if we had road all the way around the world, this man would drive all the way on the road continuously and never need to sleep. I don't know how he does it. He can just, the love of racing or vehicles. But I thought that was crazy because we did all that as college students with exams to go back to, with the stress of college, but we just loved racing. And I mean, it was a K&N race. Like, it wasn't anything special, but I do.
One of the greatest things to see ever, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some pretty crazy ones. Yeah, Michigan was pretty crazy too, driving all the way out there and getting yelled at by those neighbors of our Airbnb about what was it? The
tree was overhanging in their yard. They thought we owned the place. Yeah, they're like, your tree is overhanging in our yard. I'm like,
who the heck are you? Like, get away from us, you stalkers.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, man. Daytona was crazy too.
How can I forget?
The alligators in the backyard. Yeah, that was
like gators at our VRBO. Almost got our heads chopped off before Kurt Busch won.
Yeah, I'll be like, can I find another Airbnb, please?
Exactly.
All right. What do you both do in your spare time?
Sleep. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I wish I can do that.
I play a lot of guitar and piano. I love music. I finally got a stand-up piano for my apartment, so I'm playing that a lot. Honestly, it feels like work is on 24/7, which is a good thing if you like racing. But I feel like the time frame when I'm going to get sick of racing because I'm around it so much is about once every month. I need to go home for a weekend and I need to detach from everything to do with cars or wheels and motors. And just do anything but that, which is very hard because I'm completely consumed by it all the time, and it's all around my apartment. But that's mostly my hobby, is just, or free time stuff is all racing or music.
Yeah. So what I do in my free time is, well, this stuff.
Hey,
Pretty much what I do
it
in my
looks
free
cool
time.
though.
Yeah. So I'll send you pictures if you want to post them up or something later, whatever you want to do, or just to see them. But I got 2 of these pegboards. So I had the idea, you go to Walmart and you buy the Winter Circle, what used to be or now the NASCAR Authentics, and you see the pegboards they have up. And I was like, one day I'm like, running out of room for these things. Let's just hang them up all on the wall, Walmart style. So that's what we ended up doing. But yeah, the diecast stuff's pretty much one of my hobbies. The other hobby that I pretty much have is photography. If you guys go on like my Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you see that I post pictures all the time. Used to have I still have a Canon Rebel T3. I've now upgraded a little bit to Canon Rebel T7i, which is nice, very nice. And I just like to do racing photography, nature photography, a lot of stuff like that. When I go to races or just travel and stuff like that. I guess since I still live up north, about half the time right now it's shoveling snow. We're supposed to get a foot tomorrow, and they expect
My least favorite pastime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. I don't know what else. I don't know. Elijah could probably actually be the one who was talking the other day about all the stuff I do. I didn't even realize about 95% of the stuff I do. I mean, I don't really do this on the side, but like work on cars, I don't really do that very much. But if I need a buddy that needs help or whatever, I'll help them out. Of course, I get people now all the time sending me photos of damaged cars, and they want me to do an appraisal. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that, and it's not a total loss. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
All right, sounds good. If you guys want to follow Elijah and Aaron on their social media, it's in the chat right now. Just follow them on Twitter, Instagram. Elijah's got YouTube as well, and Aaron's got Twitter and Instagram. So follow them if you want to keep up to whatever they do in their lives. Feel free. Well, Elijah and Aaron, it was a pleasure to have you guys on today. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be on. And, invite me as a guest anytime to come back on as a guest for the NASCAR Heat 3 thing, man, because I'd love to be part of it again.
Yeah, definitely. We'd love to have you back on and let you know for sure. And thank you for the kindness and letting us be on here and talk a little bit about what we do and share our story. Really appreciate it. And Aaron, I know as well, is very appreciative. The big motorsports fan in him is crying right now, tears of happiness.
Yeah.
See, now that is just happy tears. I love emotions. There we go.
I think all my guys back at the job.
I told my wife this morning I'm gonna cry.
All right, that's a little much there. All right.
Don't change it, baby.
Well, guys, take care. Have a good one, okay? And keep in contact with you guys, and we'd love to, maybe, hopefully, one of these times I want to come visit you guys out in North Carolina, because I might possibly visit North Carolina later on this year. So if I do head out there, maybe I'll let you know. Maybe hang out for a little bit. Yeah,
let us know. I'll be here at least. Aaron, hopefully we move down there by then.
I'll try to be down there.
Maybe down there. And if you have other stuff, just cancel it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going down there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll clear our schedules.
All right, sounds good, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Okay.
Thank you too. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
That is Elijah Burke and Aaron Fischer. I want to thank them both for tuning in or joining Zachary and I on the Lombard Bros Talk Show this week. Very nice guys. Very cool. I've been in contact with them a few times. It was just, of course, I met Elijah first, and I met Aaron later on. Just two really good guys, and just want to appreciate them to take the time to come on. So, Zach, I think that should do it for today's talk show. So that means next week it's another talk show. We'll be back here next Monday, sitting on this couch, not try to eat any more of those Oreos, but have another guest. I don't remember who's exactly the guest next week, but you guys follow us on Lombard Bros Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Keep up to date on what Lombard Bros Gaming is all about, any news and stuff. So anyways, you guys take care. Have a good one. Joseph Lombard, a.k.a. N2SC4 with Zachary Lombard, a.k.a. Magnum 05. You all have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your evening. Take care. Bye-bye.